When Pastor Jeremy talked about the United Methodist Sunday soon coming up, we had no problem of saying, sure, we'll do our part. We've done it for years. We'll be ushers, we'll be acolytes, we'll be this. No problem, we'll help you out. Well, there's a little bit of problem with that, he said. I'm not going to be there that Sunday. What do you think about taking care of the whole service? Well, okay, we could handle it. I mean, we're women, we're resourceful, sure. We can handle it. Both services. Oh, well, I don't know a whole lot about, or we don't know how well about the first service, but oh sure, we can do anything. We'll do it, no problem. Okay. So here it comes, and when the organization was taking place, we realized that the first service is a lot different than the second service. Not only that there are 6 people that go there, and there are a few more, and the roads are lousy. What are you all doing here? When I woke up and saw this and drove on the slippery roads, I said, don't worry, there'll hardly be anybody there. And look at you, you're all here. That's good. I had a trial run first service, so you're okay. Anyway, we decided, okay, we'll do it. We got it all taken care of. We are ready to go. First service got just a revised version of what you are going to get, because, you know, they like to get home on time. So we wanted to make sure that they did that, and they were pleased. So what we are going to do is not only tell you a few things about the UMW, but we are going to show you some things also. Teaching speech, I always told my children and students that the power of the eye has a lot of power, so make sure you use visuals. So today we are full of visuals. Okay. Now, how many of you have ever heard of Mrs. Clementina Butler? Well, how about Mrs. Edwin Parker? I really didn't expect any of you to know them, because I didn't even know who they were until I had to do a report for the UMW chapter on the history of the United Methodist Women, and found out a whole lot. That's why the title of the speech is What Two Women Can Do. These 2 women were the wives of 2 missionaries who were serving in India in 1869. Living in India with their husbands, they witnessed firsthand the lack of women's health care. Women and children were legally classified as chattel, legally dead non-persons. In other words, there was little service to women and children in India because of prejudice and limitations of cultural attitudes in the church and society. When these 2 women were home on furlough, they spoke, they arranged for a meeting of a lot of women in Boston at one of the Boston churches, and God put his hand and made a snowstorm. So 6 women showed up that night, and they expected a lot more, but they said, hey, we're here, the 6 women are here, we'll go for it. Well, they told these women about the desperate spiritual and physical need of the women in India. Male doctors could not treat women. Schooling for girls was non-existent. Single, trained, and dedicated women were needed for medical and educational work. The 6 women called another meeting. That's what women do, which was attended by a whole lot more women. And those whole lot more women arranged for more meetings and got a whole lot more women going. And the ball started rolling. In the span of a couple of months, these women called more meetings, which drew even more women. They wrote a constitution, organized the Methodist Women's Foreign Missionary School, and raised enough funds to send Isabella Thornburn, an educator, and Dr. Clara Swain to India. Thornburn began a school with 6 girls, which has developed and grew into the first college for women called the Isabella Thornburn College, which still is in operation today. Dr. Swain established the first women's hospital in Asia, which is also still in operation today. Today, there are numerous schools and hospitals for women and children around the world. Over the span of 100 years, many different denominational churches took their lead and were sending missionaries from their church to promote fair treatment for women and children all across Asia and even into all parts of the world. The different denominations soon came to realize, which we often do, that if they joined together, they could do far more for women and children around the world. So over the years of merging and reorganizing, the United Methodist Women was created. Now, 145 years later, there are over 800,000 United Methodist women across the world, all because two women would not let injustice to women and children continue. So don't ever say something can't be done. Now, that was just a capsule of the history of the International United Methodist Women's beginning. But what does that mean here at the Ortonville United Methodist Church? What do we do to qualify as United Methodist women? First of all, we are members of the Ortonville United Methodist Church. Therefore, we are all members of the UMW, whether we attend meetings or not. You just are. You become a member, you are a member of the United Methodist Women. What does our little itty-bitty unit do to make things better at home and abroad? I thought you'd never ask. First of all, a quick update on our United Methodist Women organization through the eyes of being a member for over 25 years. In the 1980s, the United Methodist Women were hanging on with approximately 6 to 7 active members. They handled the well-attended fall harvest dinners, which I'm sure all of you still remember, in the fall, funeral luncheons, and coffee hour. But as they said in their own words, we're getting tired out and worn out. We need younger people to keep this going. Some of us younger women, I was younger then, didn't want such a worthwhile organization to go down, so we got together and worked out a rejuvenation plan. How to get busy women interested in missions, both local and global, enough to come out to meetings and activities. So we reorganized, elected officers who were determined to bring life to the unit to do as much good to our local and other missions as we could. Under the leadership of Phyllis Barnwell, who was our strong, dedicated president for 10, 11 years, she's lost count, we've lost count, it was a whole long time. She took a year off for chemo treatments and came back for a couple more years. Our present unit owes a lot to her, so let's thank Phyllis for our UMW. Under her leadership and determination to make this unit one that women would want to come to do for others, many Ortonville United Methodist women took up the challenge and are making our UMW what it is today, and you will see exactly what that is. Now you're saying, just what do these women do? Well, with the help of my crew members, are already out there ready to go, we are going to show you as well as tell you. Now, a lot of people think, anyway, in my day, our church had Ladies' Aid. And I think the United Methodist started out as Ladies' Aid. And they were one of the non-denominational groups that got together and became the United Methodist Women. But in my Ladies' Aid, as I remember, they met on Wednesday morning. They made lunch with a half sandwich and a piece of cake, and they put it in a little brown paper bag, and you came, all the people in the little town came and bought their lunch from the Ladies' Aid. And they took care of funerals, and I don't even remember they ever doing a dinner, but that was what my impression of what the Ladies' Aid were. Boy, did I get a surprise when I joined the Ortonville United Methodist Women. information about the group. They meet every second Tuesday of the month at 7 o'clock. They open with devotions, and then they have a program. A lot of the programs are taken from the United Methodist Women's program book that we get from the district, but a lot of times we like to have a speaker come in. And we've had speakers that have given speeches about hospice, about OSEF, we've had a life coach that'll help us organize the rest of our lives, funeral planning, and that's something that a lot of people don't like to talk about, but it's necessary. And we had a good speaker about that, and we often have videos that shows us about a lot of other missions that are going on. And then, of course, we have the business meeting. Now, so many times I have heard over the years, I don't like to go to business meetings. They're boring, dull, whatever. But you know what? To get all the things people do, you gotta have organization. And to get it organized, you gotta have a meeting. People have got to come. Those two women in India had to get other people together and to organize. And that's just what you have to do in meetings. You try and keep them short, but you know they are very valuable and needed. But that isn't the only thing we decided when we were rejuvenating or reorganizing is, okay, we know people don't want to always come to meetings. So, okay, well, how else can we get them to be part of the UMW? Circles. We will offer different things for them. Instead of that one meeting night, we will offer other things. So, this is what happened. Okay, and of course we always have lunch at the end. That's just being a Methodist and being a woman. So, anyway, the main thing that the UMW is focused on is missions. That's what the two women started out as missions, and it has just grown, but it has grown into missions and very large across the world. We are a mission-based organization, and 100% of our budget of $5,550 goes to our global, district, and local missions. That's what it's all about. You make money, you send it out to help people. And the first thing is our global. We've got a little, if you look on your monitors, look. Every single one of those little pink and blue markers is a mission that is sponsored by the UMW. Now you take all of them away, and if you figure out where India is, okay, yes. If you figure out where India is, it started there to grow. That's a picture of the whole globe, the whole world. Look at all of those. In 145 years, what has happened. That's what we do globally. Well, obviously, the Ortonville United Methodist Church doesn't represent or doesn't pay for all of those. That's where the coming together came. If we come together, we can make more money, we can help more people. And that's where it has come globally. The second thing is our district. We are, of course, connected with the district, and we have pledged 20% of our budget to go to the district, and everything at the district goes to our global missions. Other things that through our state and our community-wise, we have the Methodist Children's Home in Redford that the church basement ladies went to visit and brought a number of quilts for the boys. They do the Christian Resource Company, Chelsea Retirement Home, and of course, missionaries. That's just to name a few. Now locally, okay, that's nice. Send your money, let them take care of it, no problem. But we don't stop there. The rest are 80% of our budget goes to Ortonville. And this is where it goes to Ortonville. My crew is all ready to go, and they are going to help demonstrate exactly where and what we have been doing for the last so many years. The number fundraiser in our every other year is our every other year quilt show. And Brenda and Terry have given us a couple of quilts that are still around that gives you an idea of the quilt show. Other places that we get money from is pledges from our members. As you know, we always have our Christmas cookie, candy, and bake sale. We do silent auctions, which was new this year, cheese ball sale, the funeral dinners, and donations. This is where our money comes from. Our number one, of course, biggie is the quilt show. But we only get that every other year, so we use funds from it from one year to the other. Now, our local missions in Ortonville. With help from our crew members, we'll show you what we have been doing in the last few years. We have contributed in many different ways to the following organizations. There's OSEF. We have given to, any more? We have given to camp scholarships for children of our church, for people in our church that would like to go to camp in the summertime. And of course, you need your sleeping bag and your flashlight. Youth mission trips. Taylor can attest to, I think this year we helped 3 of our own youth go on mission trips around the world. Youth, we had something that we haven't done other than lately, something new that is coming into our parish or our organization is the Parish Nurse. And through her education, we helped her through her education, and that's Diane Drosty is demonstrating, but Marilyn James is our parish nurse. Kitchen supplies and upkeep of the kitchen. Now, a lot of people always say, what does the kitchen have to do with you know, you shouldn't be spending money on the kitchen. What do they have to do with missions? Well, you know, if you're going to make a mission of a meal, a mission of a bake sale, you know, it's nice to have a kitchen. It's nice to have a kitchen with supplies and the right things to do other things. So, kitchen supplies, we do feel very good about supporting and keeping our kitchen up to date for our missions. We also have a UMW reading program. The district puts out a list of suggested reading books and gives them to all the units, and we encourage our members to do the reading books. The one person that has had, and if you read 5 of them each year of the different categories, you are a 5-star member. Phyllis Barnwell has been a 5-star member for a number. She is our number 1 reader of the book. So thank you, Phyllis. By doing that, she also helps us be a 5-star unit if we have somebody that does the 5-star reading program. So she is thanked in many ways. And then, of course, we do the funeral dinners. And the number of times that we have been thanked, we're very few, we're getting fewer for organizations that will do funeral dinners. They are very thankful and glad that we do it. And that's our mission. We want to be able to do that. Oh, and of course, we always have to help out the men. And so the United Methodist men, when they got into their pie baking, they took a turn and said, ladies, would you mind helping us just to do a little bit? So we got into it and love it. And I don't like to say this, men, but I don't think the pies would get baked if the women weren't there. Thank you. And then the mother and daughter banquet. That is every other year. We do a quilt show, then we do a mother and daughter banquet. This year, ladies and gentlemen, we were blessed with 4 generations of the Betty Owen family. Our Betty and Lena and Marin and Madeline and Brenda. What did you think about the mother-daughter banquet, ladies? 2 years ago. It was great, wasn't it? Yeah, we thought so too. thank you. Touche, thank you. And then Brenda and Terry always come through with our big fundraiser, and that's the quilt show. And if you don't know what it is to get a quilt show ready, by the way, this is one of our baby quilts that the church basement ladies have done. Oh, she's coming for another time. That's all right, she's coming in again.
Okay.
Sorry, forget that.
Let me tell you. Yeah. Ministry donation. So that will be.
Okay. Oh, thank you. Okay.
Not me.
Okay. Other organizations we have helped are the Grace Centers of Hope, which you are familiar with, the jail ministry, special mission projects, and of course, believe it or not, we even help our own church when they have some financial problems. Now, that is just what we do as a whole unit. What has held us together are our circles, our special times that if you don't want to come to a meeting, then perhaps you'd like to come to a circle. That we try to get them based with activities. Our largest circle, and you saw a lot of them when they were up here singing for you, and they are called the Church Basement Ladies, or the CBL. They used to be called the Crafters, but we got tired of crafting. And nobody bought our crafts very much anyway. So we said we should be doing something for people rather than something for ourselves, so what can we do? Well, all kinds of ideas came out, and the one they grabbed a hold of right away was we will go into making lap quilts for chemo patients. Okay, no, I'm not, just hang on, that's okay. It's coming back. So we are no longer the crafters, but for years we have made craft items to sell at the Christmas boutique. And these are some of the things that we have made over the years. Just to let you know how active we are, the things that were done over the years. And I'm sure most of you saw our craft boutiques when we made them or when we had them for our Christmas, at Christmas time. The Church Basement Ladies meet on Tuesday morning at 9:30 to about 12. And then afterwards they are joined by 3 or 4 husbands for the snack at about 11:30 or so. So, but other things that the CBL have done, other than the boutiques, is the bake sales. And I think you all know about the bake sales. And by the way, the cake is for sale to the highest bidder. You can buy it down at coffee time, right, Janice?
No.
Yeah. Oh. By the way, I don't know how many of you knew that Linda Dorsey has a collection of rolling pins. This is one of them. How many?
A couple hundred.
Couple hundred.
How many?
Couple hundred.
That doesn't get close to my 1,200 Santas. And then, of course, we talked about the lap quilts that we made and are making for chemo patients, men and women. We wanted to make sure that you didn't think we only did all of this for women, but you know men also have chemo treatments. And during chemo, it gets very, very cold. They get very cold. So they, the Clarkston chemo place asked for quilts. So we have made a number of quilts that have gone to different chemo or organizations. We also are branching out. We are also doing for the abused women and children. They come from their homes sometimes with nothing but the clothes on their back and go into safe homes and and they don't have anything. So to have bedding and something that is theirs, they get to take it with them when they leave the safe homes, gives them quite a deal of comfort. So we're working on those. We also have other children's quilts that we are going to give to needy homes. I think the children's quilt, you want to show yours again, Laura? Okay, so we make them in all sizes, from the size that'll take care of a 7-foot man to a size that will take care of babies and children. Thank you, Laura. And what the church ladies like to do best of all is make baby quilts for new members of our church. And so we have a demonstration with one of the babies that received one of the new blankets from the church basement ladies. It's kind of hard to get them going on the other quilts. They kind of like to really make these cute little baby quilts, but we have other things to do too. So thank you. And they always are there for anything that any church member or anybody needs. They cook, they bake, they clean, whenever or whatever is needed. The church basement ladies have been there. They are our largest group, but probably only a couple of them come to our UMW meetings. So you see, you can do all kinds of things for others without attending a meeting. So that's not an excuse. Okay, so the next thing we're going to talk about are those circles, or the second circle. The second circle is the Deborah Circle. The Deborah Circle meets at 10 o'clock in the morning, the first Friday of the month, or they're off on a mission somewhere. They started, maintain, and deliver the baby ministry. You have probably seen the dresser downstairs. There's been one there for approximately 10 years. We have probably delivered 20 dressers, sometimes 2 a year, that you have donated. We don't buy any of the dressers. They have been donated by you, and all of the clothes, new or slightly used, have been put in over the years. Thank you, Linda, Beth, and Cindy. Oh, that's right. They've got other things. They also started and coordinated the Valentine boxes that were just sent this month to college students and military members. They are also wonderful at sending thank you or thinking of you cards to college, military, or church family members. They help OSEF with making turkey feathers at Thanksgiving, Christmas tags at Christmas, and any other thing that OSEF might need. They're always here to let us know. Other things they have done over the years is planting flowers to be used for plant sales or favors, taking tours of some of the mission projects of the district UMW, and reporting back to us. They always seem to be going somewhere and doing some useful activity. This group would appeal to those who want to meet during the day instead of getting out at night. It is a small group, but does many good and useful things. Thank you, ladies. Our third circle is the Marinarian Circle, which meets the last Tuesday of the month at 7 o'clock, usually at someone's house, with somebody being a hostess. This circle's philosophy is the women of this church do so many things for other people that they should have a time of their own to enjoy the fellowship of each other and to relax and have a good time. There's nothing wrong with having a good time. So each month, a different hostess plans a different activity for that month. This year's schedule was, in October, we took a hayride to Cook's Pumpkin Patch and all came back with, you guessed it, pumpkins. And they weren't carved already either, but you get the idea. In November, we had a game night at the girls' house, which are enjoying Florida at the moment. But we played bunco. Everybody wanted to learn how to play bunco, so we did, and they had a great time. In December, we joined the rest of the United Methodist Women for a Christmas party, and that was the white elephant gift that you never knew what you're going to get. In January, we had show and tell, where we got this idea from, show and tell, evening at Linda Carl Hayes's. And this, we asked Tammy to do this. You've got to see this. She'll have it downstairs, right? But you got to promise not to steal anything. Okay, I'm sorry. This is a necklace. It is Africa. Each one of those pieces is an animal from Africa. And they have made it together. It comes all apart, and it's all back together again as a puzzle. And you can wear it. Each one of them has a thing you can put on the necklace, and you can wear each animal separately. But when she showed and told us this, it was beautiful. You want to tell us where you got it?
The Kalahari in Ohio. It's a resort. If you haven't been, you need to go. It's wonderful.
Okay, thank you, Tammy. That was January, show and tell. You should have seen some of the things that they showed and told us. It was very, very enjoyable. And then in February, this month, we are having our meeting this coming Tuesday, a dinner and a movie. And Diane Drossi and Pat Snyder are in charge. And the movie is entitled?
The Life of Ben Carter.
The Life of Ben Carter. Okay, so
Carver, I'm sorry.
Carver? Ben Carver.
Diane's in charge of the movie.
Diane.
She's missing.
Gifted Hands, the Ben Carson story.
There you go.
The Ben Carson story, thank you. Okay, we invite all of you to come along. If you haven't let Pat know that you're coming, please do so we have enough food for everybody. Should be an enjoyable evening. And then in March, we have the book review, which is?
It is In Our Backyard by Nita Bells.
You want to tell us just a little bit about it?
It's about human trafficking that's happening here in the United States. I was totally unaware that there was that situation going on. So it's not a real easy book to read, but I think it's important and it's something all of us need to be more aware of. So there's some books floating around. Maybe you can get borrow somebody's, and it's March 26th, I believe, is when we'll have our book discussion at Linda Weather's house.
If you are coming to the book review, or if you're just going to, I just suggest, if nothing else, read the book. You will be absolutely blown away, not realizing. But if you just keep in mind what I started with, what two women can do, maybe 15 women from the Ortonville United Methodist Church can start or continue something that's going on in this book. So please join us. And of course, April, which Marilyn is in charge of, it's a surprise. Yeah, we don't know because Marilyn hasn't figured it out yet, but when she gets back...
It will be something health-related.
Oh, thank you. Oh, she's talked to you.
As the parishioners, yes.
Well,
yes,
good.
Marilyn.
Excellent.
Yes.
Excellent.
It's a Marilyn and Marilyn combined.
Okay.
Venture.
Right, okay. And in coming May, when the warm weather is, we're going to have something that has become an annually thing. It's the annual road rally. And guys, this is the time when we ask you to come along. And it's just, oh, what's this? A clue. I wonder where it goes. To get to your final destination, you go to, you will have to wait until May and join us for our road rally trip. More information to come. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. From the beginning to the present of the Ortonville United Methodist Women of 2013. Ladies, why don't you come and join us? Thank you.